September is not just another month on the calendar. It is the threshold the chosen ones have been waiting for. If you are here, listening now, this is not an accident. The universe placed this message in front of you because your destiny is aligning. September carries a vibration unlike any other. And with Venus shifting into fiery Leo, hearts will be tested, loyalties will be revealed, and the truth will shine brighter than illusions. The warning is urgent. Do not blindly trust the person closest to you. This may sound unsettling, but the energies of September are pulling masks away. Someone you believed was guiding you may actually be keeping you from your breakthrough. This is not betrayal, it is revelation, and it was meant to be seen at this exact moment. The cosmos has already chosen you for clarity, for strength, for abundance. But clarity requires courage. That is why you were drawn here, and that is why you cannot ignore the signs. Most people will dismiss these shifts as coincidence, but you know better. You were called here because the universe is speaking directly to your soul. If this resonates, if you feel that pulse of recognition in your spirit, affirm it now. Type 717 in the comments as a sign you are ready for the doors of wealth, love, and divine guidance to open. This warning is different from the stories you've been told about obvious enemies and clear-cut betrayals. The danger arriving this month hides in familiar voices, in the soft, convincing words of people who have been with you through seasons. When Venus slides into Leo, pride and dramatics become amplified, and compliments can land like chains. A phrase meant to soothe may quietly tighten a cage. A loving suggestion can arrive disguised as advice that dims your calling. This is not alarmism. This is a tender alert from the cosmos, and you were meant to hear this now. Most warnings prepare you for a stranger at the gate. This one asks you to watch the living room, the kitchen table, the partner who tucks you in at night. The one who has your history will suddenly sound like a prophet, but their prophecy will be anchored to fear. Their light is familiar, but their light may no longer serve the path you are being invited to walk. Listen instead for the inner voice that has carried you through doubt. The small, steady current of truth beneath every well-meaning opinion. On the specific days when words carry unusual weight, sentences will bend reality. A single dismissal spoken with confidence can derail plans you were meant to hold. A casual joke can seed doubt that blooms into years of hesitation. The cosmic alignment makes language a lever. Tone becomes law. That's why discernment is the test laid before you. Not because people are worse, but because energy is asking you to become wiser. The test is simple, but painful. Can you tell love from limitation? Can you feel the difference between someone protecting you and someone protecting their version of you? Love frees. Limitation binds. Love invites expansion, curiosity, and permission to fail. Limitation quotes the past, measures possibility by fear, and asks you to shrink so others can remain comfortable. When Venus in Leo amplifies pride, loved ones may frame their control as care. Watch for phrases that begin with "you always" or "you don't need." These are often the scripts of shrinking. This is not a coincidence. This is also a moment to trust the inner compass, not the loudest voice in the room. Your intuition speaks in texture, in a yes or no that rests under the noise. Give that yes space. Give it words before you accept someone else's narrative. And if you're still watching, understand this. Saying no to the familiar is an initiation. It separates those who are ready to receive their true calling from those who will linger in comfort. Do not mistake necessary boundaries for cruelty. Sometimes a firm boundary is the truest act of love. If a voice that once guided you now sows your doubt, thank it, release it, and step toward the horizon that hums with possibility. You were placed here for a reason. The universe timed this test for your growth. You were meant to hear this and to answer with courage. Here are practical signs to help you decide. Notice your energy after a conversation. The greatest battle of this season will not come from outside forces, nor from enemies who rise in the open. The real battlefield is within. September does not ask you to raise your fists against others. It asks you to sit with yourself long enough to realize where the struggle truly lies. The pull of external voices, the weight of opinions, the temptation to seek constant reassurance. All of these are shadows that scatter your focus outward. Yet the truth is clear. The only power that can anchor you now is the one that already lives inside. Pressure reveals what cannot be shaken. Just as fire refines gold, stripping away the dross to reveal the brilliance beneath, these coming days will burn through illusions. You may feel tested, stretched, even stripped bare. But understand this: nothing is being taken from you that was meant to remain. The heat is not punishment, it is purification. It is the universe proving to you that your spirit is stronger than the temporary storms. And if you are still listening, it is because this message was designed for you. In this spiritual battle, your weapons will not look like the weapons of the world. They will be patience and silence. When others provoke, you will pause. When the urge rises to explain, defend, or over-justify, you will step back. Silence in this alignment is not weakness, it is mastery. It forces the storm to spend itself while you remain untouched at the center. And patience? Patience is the key that unlocks doors others cannot even see. Impulsive reactions will scatter your energy. Deliberate stillness will gather it, concentrate it, and transform it into unshakable clarity. But how will you know you are walking the right path when silence reigns? The universe will not leave you blind. Synchronicities will multiply as your true guidance. You will notice repeating numbers, 111, 222, 777, appearing as confirmation that you are aligned. A random song lyric will echo your private thoughts. A dream will carry symbols that nudge you toward the next step. These are not coincidences. These are the whispers of your higher self and the cosmic order steering you. Most people will miss them because they are busy chasing external validation. But you are not most people. This is the sacred split. The scattered versus the centered. The scattered will run in circles, trying to please, explain, and hold on to everyone else's approval. The centered will pull inward, draw their energy close, and find within themselves the certainty that no human voice can provide. That is why this moment is so rare, so holy. You are being invited to step into a version of yourself that no external storm can shake. The spiritual battle is not about proving anyone wrong. It is about proving to yourself that you were always right to trust the inner flame. And in the weeks ahead, every distraction, every opinion, every emotional test will try to pull you outward. Your task is simple. Refuse the scattering, return to the center. Pull inward until your silence hums with strength. From there, you will see clearly. From there, you will know the difference between noise and truth. Remember, fire refines gold, silence disarms chaos, and patience unlocks destiny. You were meant to hear this today because you are ready to fight the only battle that matters, the one within. And when you win there, everything else aligns effortlessly. Across time, every great destiny has first been tested by doubt. This is not new, and it is not unique to you. It is the universal pattern, woven into every story of awakening, every life that carried light too bright for the world to ignore. Before the prophecy is fulfilled, the voice of doubt always comes. It often comes not from enemies, but from those closest, whose words slip past our defenses because they are spoken with familiarity. And this is why you must be so alert now. Look back at the prophets of old. Nostradamus himself was mocked in his time, his visions called madness, his warnings dismissed. Yet history remembers him as the one who saw further than any man around him. Ancient seers were ridiculed, mystics were exiled, visionaries were silenced. Even the healers and sages who brought comfort were told by their own communities that they were wrong, delusional, or dangerous. Their trial was never from strangers. It was always from those whose approval mattered most. Why is this the way of the universe? Because only the closest voices can truly reach the heart. A critic on the outside may sting, but it does not shape the soul. A dismissal from someone you love can shake the very ground beneath you. That is the weight of the test. Not to break you, but to prove whether your faith is rooted deep enough to withstand the tremor. Understand this. The universe never tests what it does not intend to fill. An empty vessel is left untouched. A destiny without power is left unchallenged. If you are feeling the press of doubt now, it is because something greater is preparing to flow through you. The resistance is the confirmation. The test itself is the proof that breakthrough is near. Imagine gold in the furnace. Fire surrounds it, heat consumes it, and yet what emerges is not destroyed but refined. So it is with your spirit in this season. The questions, the dismissals, even the quiet warnings from loved ones that you are reaching too high or expecting too much. These are the flames that will reveal your brilliance. Not everyone around you is meant to understand, because if they did, there would be no test. And without the test, there would be no readiness for what you are about to receive. This moment echoes through every sacred story. The teacher doubted by their students before wisdom proved true. The leader rejected by their tribe before destiny crowned them. The artist laughed at before their vision became immortal. Each carried the same trial you face now. Can you hold steady when the voices closest to you do not yet see? Can you remain faithful to the calling that only you can hear? Most people crumble here. They hear the doubt of someone they love and mistake it for the voice of truth. But the chosen few, the ones history remembers, pause, breathe, and choose to listen to the still, small voice within. They understand that the test is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the universe asking, "Are you ready to hold what I am about to pour into your life?" And if you are still listening, you are ready. The test is not a wall. It is a doorway. The deeper mystery of this season is hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who have eyes to see. Most people imagine that distractions are random, that resistance is coincidence. But here's the truth. They arrive closest to your breakthrough. The closer you move toward alignment, the louder the noise becomes. It is not the universe trying to stop you. It is the old patterns fighting for survival. Resistance rises like a final storm at the very doorstep of change. And here is the paradox. The resistance often looks like love. Concern can mask control. A soft word, spoken with care, may still be designed to keep you safe within the boundaries of someone else's comfort. This is not always malicious. Sometimes those around you simply cannot imagine the size of your calling. They fear losing the version of you they know, so they wrap their fear in worry and present it as protection. Your task is not to hate them for this, but to see through the disguise. This is where discernment matters. Discernment is not suspicion. Suspicion poisons every bond, but discernment frees you to honor the truth. You are not called to mistrust everyone. You are called to test every word against the vibration of your soul. Does this voice strengthen your wings or clip them? Does it inspire courage or plant hesitation? These questions reveal everything you need to know. On the day of testing, the universe is not watching your enemies. It is watching your foundation. Will you let yourself be swayed by fear disguised as care, or will you choose to stand? Your foundation is not built in applause, but in the silence where you refuse to explain yourself. Remember this: silence is more powerful than explanation. Explanation begs for agreement. Silence declares sovereignty. When you no longer need someone else to validate your path, you have already passed the test. If you are still here, listening, it means this message was meant for you. You are standing at the edge of a shift so significant that distractions have gathered like shadows at dawn. But light is stronger. Truth does not argue, it simply shines. When the test comes, breathe deep, hold steady, and let your silence speak for you. That silence is your proof. That silence is your strength. When prophecy feels distant, when cosmic shifts sound like symbols too high above your daily life, remember this: the universe always reveals itself through the practical. The signs and battles we have spoken of will not only appear in meditation or dreams, they will unfold around kitchen tables, office desks, friendships, and relationships. That is where the true test of discernment will arrive. Consider family dynamics first. Authority figures in your bloodline, parents, elders, siblings, often speak with a weight that can silence your own voice. Their words are carried by history, by decades of expectation. But here is the truth. Love does not equal limitation. When a family member tells you to be realistic or reminds you of past failures, pause. Ask yourself, is this love lifting me or fear binding me? Sometimes their advice comes not from insight but from their own unhealed wounds. The test is learning to honor their story without adopting it as your own. In the workplace, colleagues and leaders may project their insecurities onto you. A boss may dismiss your vision because it threatens their comfort. A coworker may frame your ambition as arrogance. Remember, this is not about you. It is about the lens through which they see the world. When their voices grow heavy, return inward. Ask, does their opinion serve my growth, or does it serve their control? Most people confuse external authority with truth, but you are being asked to weigh authority against alignment. Friendships also carry subtle challenges. Advice offered in the spirit of care is often colored by personal experience. A friend who lost in love may caution you against risking your heart. A friend who failed in business may warn you against bold steps. They mean well, but their story is not your prophecy. Discernment means receiving their concern with compassion while quietly reminding yourself, their past does not predict my future. And then there are relationship partners, where words cut deepest. In moments of insecurity, partners may resist your growth because it threatens to change the dynamic. They may frame control as protection or insecurity as devotion. This is where your inner compass must be strongest. Ask yourself, does this partnership breathe life into my calling, or does it quietly keep me small? A true partner celebrates expansion. A fearful partner resists it. The universe is asking you to notice the difference. To practice discernment, begin with simple questions. After a conversation, ask, do I feel lighter or smaller? When hearing advice, ask, does this expand possibility or contract it? When facing criticism, ask, is this rooted in love or in fear? These questions shift your focus from blind reaction to conscious alignment. Discernment grows with practice, just as muscles strengthen under weight. And here is the most empowering truth. You do not need to fight or argue to protect your path. Silence, patience, and clarity are enough. In real life, that may look like smiling when someone doubts you, then quietly continuing your steps. It may mean excusing yourself from a conversation that no longer feels nourishing. It may mean saying less and allowing your results, your transformation, to speak for you. The universe is not asked. The deepest test of this season is not about money, status, or even opportunity. It is about identity. Who defines you? A stranger's criticism may sting for a moment, but it fades quickly. Yet when the same words come from someone close, they echo in your chest long after the conversation ends. This is the identity test. The moment the universe leans in and whispers, whose voice will you believe? It is easy to confuse limitation with love. A parent may caution you not to dream too big. A partner may suggest you settle for safety. A friend may laugh at your new direction. None of these voices may intend harm, but their influence reaches deep because of the bond you share. You are not being asked to doubt their love. You are being asked to recognize their limitation. Their ceiling is not your ceiling. Conversations that begin as gentle concern can quickly shift into confrontation when you refuse to shrink. This is not coincidence. This is the universe orchestrating a moment of choice. Will you step back into the role others have written for you? Or will you stand tall in the identity your soul knows is true? The whisper from above is not cruel. It is an invitation. The challenge is simple. Stop letting external definitions outweigh your inner knowing. The titles others give you, the roles they expect you to play, the limits they hand you, all of these dissolve the moment you declare, with silence or with words, I know who I am. If you are still here, listening, then you are already passing the test. This is your moment to claim your identity as chosen, destined, unstoppable. Do not give that power away. Every soul chosen for transformation must first pass through trial. This is the refining fire, the sacred process that turns ordinary metal into radiant gold. The words spoken against you, the doubts whispered into your ears, the fears projected onto your path, these are not meant to crush you. They are the heat that will polish your crown. The very heavy words that once weighed you down will become jewels, reminders of how you rose when others expected you to fall. False fears will surface in this season. They may come dressed as concern, appearing in the voices of those you love. But when you face them, you will see they are only shadows. Fear loses its grip the moment you recognize it as illusion. Each released fear is proof of your readiness. The universe does not waste trials on the unprepared. You are tested because you are chosen, and you are chosen because you are ready. This is the moment where authority over your destiny becomes clear. No one else is allowed to hold the pen that writes your story. Others may try, whether with criticism, caution, or control, but the sacred truth is this: you do not owe anyone your surrender. You owe only your Creator your obedience and your soul the freedom to expand. Authority given away becomes limitation. Authority reclaimed becomes liberation. This trial is designed to remind you that the authority is already in your hands. Your path is not fragile. It is protected. You are walking a sacred road lined with unseen guardians. Every tear, every silence, when the storm rises, the temptation will be to retreat, to bend under the weight of voices and pressures. But this is the very moment where you must stand strong. Hold your ground despite the winds of doubt, for beyond the test lies the fulfillment you have been waiting for. Every prophecy spoken over your life still stands. Nothing anyone says, whether in anger, fear, or limitation, can rewrite your destiny. Their words may shake your confidence, but they cannot touch the truth written into your soul. You are being asked to choose alignment over approval. Approval may feel comforting, but it is fleeting. Alignment, though lonely at first, builds the foundation for lasting joy, wealth, and love. This season is forging strength in you that will serve the weeks ahead. The universe is preparing you, layer by layer, to hold blessings too great for shallow roots. If you are still here, it is because you were chosen to hear this, chosen to rise, chosen to remain unshaken. Stand firm. Do not waver. What lies beyond this storm is everything your heart has been waiting for. Protect your clarity as though it were treasure, because it is. The signs you have been given are not random. They are confirmations of your path. Do not second-guess them, and do not let them be stolen by noise. Trust what you have seen, felt, and heard in your spirit. And now, take this message beyond yourself. Someone you know is waiting for encouragement, and this could be the very confirmation they need. Share it with them. Comment your affirmation below so others know they are not walking alone. If this resonated, type your yes to claim it, and subscribe so you remain aligned with future guidance. You are not alone. Together, we rise. And above all, do not give up. The breakthrough is already closer than you think.